State Republicans are reacting not only to the startling news over the weekend, but the announcement today about a vice presidential nominee. KOMO senior reporter Chris Daniels continues our coverage now in Seattle.
Yeah, Preston, a lot of talk about changing tone, changing the rhetoric after the events of the last 48 hours. Have you noticed any additional security or anything like that on hand?
Without a doubt.
State GOP Chair Jim Walsh was on the convention floor for the JD Vance nomination. What makes him such an attractive candidate?
He reaches across a lot of political divides.
He's already on record, too, talking about a national ban on abortion. You and I both know that that is going to be one of the defining issues of this race. How do you think that affects the discussion, not only amongst Republicans, but amongst Democrats?
Well, I'm sure that issue will come up, and the senator will have to answer it in an effective way.
What was your initial reaction to the assassination attempt at Donald Trump?
Sadness, initially disbelief.
Washington Republican gubernatorial candidate Semi Bird says he hopes the assassination attempt prompts the former president and Vance to bring the country together.
We need leaders to rally people to that cause, unite on the issues to bring civility and discourse back.
To have a major party nominee targeted for assassination is deeply, deeply troubling.
Yet Washington Congressman and Democrat Adam Smith says he has not wavered in his opinion that President Joe Biden step aside from his re-election campaign. Do you believe that the events on Saturday will change this race?
Certainly. I think in the end, they probably won't change it by as much as we think they will right now. Certainly in the moment, I'm still of the opinion that Democrats could pick a better candidate to take our message to the American people this fall, and that has not changed.
Smith did say that the Biden discussion did hit a pause button after the events on Saturday, and that Democrats would have to make any sort of decision about a change before their convention next month. That's the story for now. Live in Seattle, I'm Chris Daniels, KOMO News.
Chris, thank you. We spoke with Washington Senator Maria Cantwell today about the political environment right now, and this is what she said about trying to cool things down.
Forget the personalities and focus on the policies. Try to make the policy distinction. I think, obviously economic issues and what our plans are for the future and what we think are the best opportunities for higher wages and lower costs. And something like choice, which is a very important issue, was in 22, and I think it'll be a very important issue here, and we have more data. I think is just making those distinctions for people. What are the choices and what are the outcomes of these choices?
So that brings us to our KOMO Pulse poll. You can scan the QR code there on your screen to participate. Tonight we're asking, has the attempted assassination of Trump changed how you plan to vote in November? Still an overwhelming majority of people here, 83% say no. However, 14% do say yes, only 3% say still unsure. Again, if you'd like to weigh in, just scan the code there on your screen. That'll take you directly to the story on KOMOnews.com.
The attempt on Trump's life could have a lasting impact on the presidential campaign, depending on how voters interpret Trump's response to the violence. KOMO's Joel Marino's live with what this could mean at the ballot box. Joel?
Mary, some people who saw that fist pumping say this shows Trump to be a fighter and a leader. Others say Trump is simply a magnet for hate and violence, and electing him would open the door for more of the same.
In communities throughout our region, people have a range of reactions to the way former President Donald Trump handled being grazed by a bullet from a would-be assassin.
I was pretty amazed myself. I mean, I thought of everything going on right there, and then it came to his mind to show that he's still fighting strong and everything.
Others have very different takeaways.
I'm glad that Trump didn't turn into a martyr.
Seattle University political science professor Patrick Shatner says these perceptions could either help or hurt Trump's bid to be president again.
If people interpret this as like he's strong, he's standing up against threats, that could really boost him. But if people are interpreting this as he makes everything crazier, he's turns up everything to 11, that could actually hurt him.
The image that sticks for many is Trump's blood-streaked face and his fist pumps as Secret Service officers rush him to safety.
He understands staging, and he understood the moment he was in. He knew how powerful of an image that could be and how that could really help his campaign.
Many are dismayed by the violence in a presidential campaign that has already seen so much angry rhetoric.
I think it's important to make our
choice is known by the ballot box, not with bullets.
I think it's just crazy. Like, I don't think anyone expected it.
Conspiracy theories are also swirling that could further alter people's perceptions.
I feel like some people are just like making fun of the situation too, but I think it's kind of serious.
Well, for people who have already made up their minds, this assassination attempt and what they think about it may not change anything. But for people on the fence, this could be a factor that they consider. Reporting live, Joel Marino, KOMO News.
KOMO News political analyst Ron Dotzauer says he believes the attempt on Donald Trump's life will have political consequences in the race for the White House and for GOP candidates down the ballot in our state.
I think the sight that we're going to see a lot of in the next days and weeks to come is when Mr. Trump gets up from the floor and he's got his fist raised in the air and of strength, okay? And I think that is going to be a very strong political symbol for his candidacy going forward.
Dotzauer said the momentum for the former president will amplify today's start of the Republican National Convention.